Tonight we take a look at the Athletic Hall of Fame
and the annual Troy Fest festivities. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts now.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for April 27th, 2015. I'm Sarah Singletary.
And I'm Jordan Nelson. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University took a step back into athletic history this weekend as it honored a new class of inductees into the Athletics Hall of Fame. Whitney Hartzell has the details.
8 former Troy University student athletes, coaches, and administrators were enshrined into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame on Saturday night. The new inductees included Ronnie Shelley, Virgil C., and Ronnie Mobley.
Well, it's just a dream come true. I mean, you don't grow up, or I didn't grow up thinking about that. But now I realize that I was given something that's just really beyond belief. I wouldn't take anything in the world for it.
The night was an emotional homecoming for the inductees as they looked back on their accomplishments made at Troy. Virgil C. told us his thoughts on how the campus looks now compared to his time here at Troy State University.
The campus has completely changed since I was here, and it's absolutely great.
All the inductees had the pleasure of growing into adulthood on campus at Troy, but none more than Ronnie Shelley, who stepped foot on campus at the age of 16.
My time here was the time of growing up. Troy helped me grow up. Troy made me the man I am. Troy, the coaches we had here and administrative people were awfully good to me.
Mobley echoed what each inductee would have said when asked what makes Troy special.
People that I met and not only the people within the university and the teammates, but the people in the community. This is a great community, a great college town. I don't think you can beat it.
This was the university's 4th annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony that it's hosted, with a range of athletes from the late 60s into the early 90s. For TrojanVision, I'm Whitney Hartzell.
The Athletics Hall of Fame is located in Trojan Arena.
The square in downtown Troy was filled with artists, vendors, and residents as they all took part in the annual Troy Fest Arts and Crafts Festival. Victoria Sabinina gives us a look.
On the last April weekend, the city of Troy hosted its annual Troy Fest, offering a wonderful selection of art, entertainment, and activities for people of all ages.
The festival is very important to our community because it brings a great sense of fellowship between our artists, our community members, families, people who do entertainment. Really everyone in the community enjoys this festival. We have artists from all over the Southeast. Most of our artists come from the state of Alabama, a few from Florida, a few from Georgia, Tennessee. The variety is wonderful.
Troy Festival is not only an important event for renters from the Southeast, but also the chance for young artists to present their talents.
We have a lot of new artists this year, particularly jewelry artists. We've been very pleased with the increase in that category. A lot of new painters and a few potters.
We've been doing this about 5 years, so this is the first time in Troy. I heard that it was a nice festival, and Troy, everybody has been so friendly. It's really seems to be an up-and-coming event.
It's an avenue for Troy students to come around and see what's the talents that we have in Troy and get to buy some antique stuff.
During the weekend, young bands could perform on the Troy Fest stage, and one of the singers explained the importance of this for her.
Unless we participate at stuff like this, we won't get anywhere. We rely on festivals and smaller events to get us to the bigger events. Without smaller events, we can't have those. It's a phenomenal Troy Fest, as well as other festivals around the Wiregrass. It's just phenomenal for the city that they're in.
The Troy Fest was held in honor of Jean Lake and was free to public. Victoria Sabinina, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy Fest takes place annually on the last weekend in April.
While Troy Fest primarily dealt with artists who have already perfected their skills, the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts is trying to teach young people the techniques to become better artists. Bethany Wilson has more from our Trojan News Center in Montgomery.
The Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts holds weekly classes designed to help students improve their skills in drawing, painting, and sculpture with projects related to works of art in the museum galleries.
There are after-school art classes. There are 2 age levels that these are offered for that meet every week for generally 12 weeks. We go one in the fall and one after Christmas that goes all the way into May. They meet every week. They meet for an hour. This particular class is one for kids that are 10 and older, and there is a class for 6 to 9-year-olds that's on a different day.
By taking these classes, Pickens hopes students will be able to improve upon their skills as well as learn more about the arts.
I'm hoping that we'll help them build some more skills in drawing, painting, and sculpture. And that they will connect with some art in the museum, because we do try to connect with certain exhibits that are in the museum or work that's in the museum.
While doing different projects each week, students explain their favorite part about the classes.
I mean, I can't really tell you. Everything is so great. I mean, Miss Dona, she tells us these amazing directions. We get to do even more than I ever expected for this class. Our teacher, Miss Donna, is really friendly, and I think all of us have progressed a lot in the last classes we've done, because when we came in, we weren't that good, and then she helped us with the things that we weren't very good at, and we got a lot better.
My favorite thing about art class is that you get to have fun and you get to be creative.
Following the completion of this class, the next art classes will be held this summer. In Montgomery, Bethany Wilson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
If you would like more information about the art classes, including options for this summer, you can visit the museum's website at mmfa.org. And while there might be some budding artists in that group, there may be some young people out there whose goal is to go into space.
Although there isn't a place to learn about how to be an astronaut in the capital city, there is a place where someone can learn all about space. From the Trojan News Center in Montgomery, Andrew Johnson takes us to the planetarium.
The W.A. Gale Planetarium, operated by Troy University, has been around for over 40 years, providing shows daily to most students in the Southeast.
This planetarium was built in 1968 and it opened up in '69. That was about the time with the moon race, and we were racing the Russians to get to the moon and to get into space. Planetariums sprung up all over the country. Now, Montgomery was fortunate to have this facility built. This is one of the largest planetariums in the Southeast.
A visit to the planetarium is sure to be a learning experience for everyone in the family.
And we can introduce like a whole family to astronomy and pique interest and teach imagination to young children, because kids are losing that. And even adults, we tend to lose the imagination. So we can spark that again. And Einstein said imagination is one of the most important things we can have, because without it, we wouldn't have the current technology.
Not only is the Gale Planetarium an educational place, but it's also very fun when you need your space.
There's not many things that you can do today where grandpa and grandson can come in and be on the same level.
The planetarium opens during the week at 4 o'clock for daily shows. It is located at 1010 4th Avenue. In Montgomery, I'm Andrew Johnson, Troy TrojanVision News.
The planetarium is located in Oak Park in Montgomery, and in addition to the Monday through Thursday 4 p.m. shows, there is also a weekend show Sundays at 2 p.m.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. A rescuer on a mission to recover a missing kayaker has drowned along with the kayaker. Authorities say 46-year-old Vicki Ryan died Saturday night in Gadsden while aiding a search and rescue for 25-year-old kayaker who capsized in a rain-swollen creek.
An Alabama town has a new fire department building and a new tornado shelter. The Brindley Mountain Fire Department in Morgan City moved into their new building Saturday. Behind the building is a new Morgan City Community Tornado Shelter, which can hold up to 96 people.
Officials with the Bullock County Humane Society say they have found 5 of the 6 dogs stolen from the shelter earlier in April. Shelter employees say they fear the dogs were stolen by people who plan to use them for dog fighting. Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the football team had their annual T-Day event this past weekend. Clay Egger will tell us how the went when he joins us in sports.
Plus, new technology is helping your email become a little more secure. We will have more on that after the break, so stay with us.
I'm Danielle Nottingham in San Francisco with a look at a new startup that's promising email only you can read.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
On Saturday, not only was it the football team's annual inter-squad matchup, but also Neil Brown's first T-Day as head coach of the Trojans. Khadijah Torbert was at the game to tell us how the Trojans performed in the Cardinal and White game.
The T-Day scrimmage officially closed out the first spring practice under head coach Neil Brown.
I thought our guys, for the first time in a live performance this spring, with a good crowd, thought they handled themselves right. It was a relatively clean game. I don't think we turned the ball over, maybe once. And I think there was less than 3 penalties during the whole scrimmage, so it's clean. So pleased about that.
The running game and the play of the offensive line stood out for Brown in Saturday's scrimmage.
Thought offensively we did some good things. We got to be more consistent at quarterback, without question. Thought both running backs I thought they did a nice job. I like those guys. Burks and Chun, really pleased with how they've come. And I thought we protected the passer better than we have at any point during the spring.
And it was the second team that Brown says took the spotlight on the defensive side of things at T-Day.
I thought we did a good job at times on defense. We've got to work on our tackling a little bit. Really pleased with what our second team did. I thought our second team, especially our defensive line, on our second team defense, the Cardinal defense, I thought they could really control the line of scrimmage and did a nice job.
Even though the Cardinal team won the scrimmage, Brown says that both teams looked pretty even and everyone stayed healthy throughout the spring.
Coming out of it, I think we were relatively healthy and thought we did a good job of, thought it was pretty even. So as a head coach, this is the first one as a head coach when we leave here and it's even, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty pleased.
Khadijah Torbert, Troy TrojanVision Sports.
Season tickets for the 2015 season are already available for purchase at the Troy ticket office. The Trojan baseball team picked up their second conference sweep of the season as the Bobcats of Texas State paid a visit to Riddle Pace Field over the weekend. Amy Olsen has the details.
The Trojans came out strong at the plate and never looked back as they swept the Bobcats of Texas State 9-6.
Well, I was hoping to get to 10 in that game. We hadn't been to 10 in a while. We got there yesterday. So we were kind of on our way early with 5 in the first 2 innings, but couldn't close that out, left a few too many on down the stretch. But they did bring in a little side armor that gave us trouble, give him a lot of credit. But bottom line is I think back-to-back sweeps at home now in the league and couldn't ask for anything more than that from our team.
The offense started quickly for the Trojans. In the bottom of the first, Logan Hill and David Hall had back-to-back solo home runs to get the Trojans on the board.
Those guys that got the 2 early home runs are plenty capable of doing that. They've done that for a long time. We haven't done that much this year, and that's what we're talking about in baseball. Offense is hot and cold. First half of the season, we didn't hit that many home runs, didn't hit that much at all, really. And right now it looks like our team and our bats are warming up a little bit. So that would be great if we can continue to build on that as we move on through our final 3 weekend series.
This was the second conference series sweep at home in a row, and Pierce said this will motivate his players for the championship.
Well, they were huge because at that time, I think we were sitting around 8th in the league. The 2 series sweeps at home has pushed us right back into the upper part of the league where we needed to get to in order to take a shot at winning another conference title. So without the sweeps, we'd be somewhere in the middle of the pack. just trying to hang on. And right now, maybe we can smell a little bit of the end and get really motivated to go after a championship.
Amy Alston, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
Up next, the Trojans travel to Monroe, Louisiana for a 3-game series against ULM this weekend. The women's softball team is back on a winning streak as they took on UT Arlington for a weekend series. In the first game, the Trojans won the matchup 5-3. JC Felt would pitch the entire game as she only surrendered 4 hits, shutting down the Mavericks' potent offense. Hannah Day would be the offensive star for Troy as she hit a triple to right field in the first inning and was able to score 3 pitches later thanks to Becca Hartley's RBI single. In Game 2, Trojans would win again 9-4. Ashley Rainey would start as she gave up 3 runs over 3 innings. Day would be the star offensively once again as she went 3 for 4 with 4 runs scored on a pair of RBI. Over the course of the weekend, Day would have 5 runs total, including a solo home run late in the game too. Head coach Beth Mullins says she was proud of how well her team performed.
I thought we played well. I thought we came out from inning number 1 of the first game and finished to inning number 14 today. I thought we had, good pitching, good defense, and really good offense. I thought our offense really stepped up. I think we've been seeing the ball really well the last week, and we carried that into today and scored a lot of runs. So I think we only had 2 innings where we did not score a run. So top to bottom, I thought they did a really good job of just living one pitch to the next.
The Trojans will now prepare to extend their win streak against South Alabama. The Sun Belt Conference champion women's golf and men's tennis are heading to NCAA regionals, and both programs will host viewing parties the next 2 days to celebrate. The women's golf team will be first up tonight as they host their party at Sweet Rack's Rib Shack on the square at 5:30 p.m. Fans are welcome to join the team as they watch the selection show on Golf Channel from 6 to 7 p.m. On Tuesday, the men's tennis team will host their party in the 3rd floor conference room of Hawkins Hall. The team will tune in to the selection show on NCAA.com at 4:30 p.m.